you're tuning into something different, something deeper. Welcome to a space where the unseen becomes seen, where the patterns beneath reality are decoded. This isn't just a podcast, it's a journey into the mechanics of belief, perception, and the multidimensional truths shaping our world. If you've ever felt like an outsider looking in, questioning the systems you're told to follow, you're in the right place. This is The Outcast, the Pattern Podcast. Let's dive in.
Welcome back to the Deep Dive.
Hi there.
So today we're wrapping up our look at Robert Anton Wilson's Illuminatus Trilogy. Specifically, we're getting into the commentary on the final book, Leviathan.
Yeah, and just as a reminder, we've been going through this whole three-part commentary, right, which looks at belief systems in, well, modern society.
Exactly.
And the goal all along has been trying to spot those underlying patterns, the ones that shape how we actually see things.
Right. This commentary really pushes you to look at those frameworks, the ones you don't even notice sometimes. And this last part, focusing on Leviathan, this feels like where it really gels. So our mission, let's say, for this deep dive is to unpack this idea of the Leviathan. It seems to have multiple faces, as the commentary sees it, and really get to the heart of what it says about, well, societal control versus individual freedom.
And the commentary does lay out a few different ways to interpret Leviathan. It's actually key to understanding the argument.
Okay.
So first, there's the biblical sea monster, pure, uncontrollable chaos.
Primal stuff.
Yeah. Then you've got Hobbes' Leviathan, the big, all-powerful state that brings order, supposedly.
Right, the classic political science idea.
And then the commentary brings in the more modern take, the Illuminati, but seen as this ideological force that chews away at freedom, maybe for some hidden reason.
So, okay, we've got chaos, state power, and hidden ideology.
Yeah.
Different forms of control. Or perceived control.
Exactly. And the commentary uses these different lenses to look at this basic human struggle with control and freedom.
And it seems like the central question the commentary keeps circling back to is, well, is this Leviathan something out there, like a real force pulling strings? Yeah. Or, and this is interesting, could it be more of a projection, something coming from us, our own fears maybe, especially fear of freedom, or just not wanting to examine our own beliefs too closely?
That's the core tension, absolutely. And the commentary explores it through looking at the final book's story, which is quite something. The commentary points out you've got all these threads, Hagbard Selene fighting his weird battles, George Dorn having this internal kind of awakening.
Right.
Even a huge rock festival at Atlantis, which has apparently come back. And they all sort of converge, but, well, not neatly, not at all.
No, the commentary definitely emphasizes the chaos in that final book. It says it's deliberate, non-linear, looping back, feels like a dream sometimes.
And that structure isn't just style, according to the commentary. It's meant to mirror the idea that our stories, the narratives we construct, are built on this messy, unpredictable foundation.
Chaos underneath the surface.
Which brings us to a really big point the commentary makes. The actual battle isn't external. It's in our heads.
Okay.
The Leviathan in that reading isn't just a government or some secret group. It's more baked in. It's the institutionalized beliefs, the fears we've picked up, that resistance we have to really questioning our own stories.
So the external stuff, the systems, the conspiracies maybe, they only work because they tap into something already inside us, like anxieties we haven't looked at.
That's the insight, yeah. These Leviathans feed on our unquestioned assumptions.
Okay, let's dig into that. So the commentary is saying the war, quote unquote, isn't fought with weapons, but more like intellectually.
Yeah, more abstractly. It's about understanding symbols, decoding language, really challenging how you perceive reality itself.
Right, becoming aware of the lenses you're looking through.
Exactly. And this is where Discordianism comes back in, but the commentary gives it an interesting spin.
How so?
It highlights how Discordianism, which, playfully embraces chaos and things falling apart. Well, the commentary argues that this disruption can actually show us how artificial some control structures are.
So it's not just destruction.
No, the commentary sees its role in the final book as potentially liberating. It breaks down false orders.
Okay, so in a time where maybe institutions feel unstable and there's a lot of conspiracy talk flying around, the commentary suggests the best skill isn't finding the truth.
Right.
But maybe being flexible, creative, able to, like it says, surf the absurd.
Yeah, that adaptability becomes a kind of resilience, a way to understand things, even if you can't pin them down completely.
That makes sense. It's like resilience through flexibility.
And the commentary points to another tool for dealing with this chaos and for dismantling what it calls the Leviathan mind.
The Leviathan mind. What's that?
That's the commentary's term for rigid, fear-based thinking. Very literal interpretations, hates ambiguity.
Ah, okay. So what's the tool?
Humor, jokes, puns, absurdity. The commentary argues these aren't just relief, they're actually like metaphysical crowbars.
Metaphysical crowbars. I like that. So laughing at something takes away its power. Is that the idea?
Sort of. It loosens the grip of that rigid, literal thinking. If you can find the absurdity in something, it can't control you in the same way. It kind of short-circuits the fear.
Injecting absurdity to break the pattern.
Exactly. You start seeing how constructed these seemingly solid systems and beliefs really are. And as the commentary digs into the book's chaotic ending, it finds these deeper, almost spiritual points being made.
Yeah, that part really caught my attention. The commentary says that beneath the madness, there are these hints of, well, metaphysical truths. Like the idea, you are not who you think you are. What's the commentary getting at there? Is it like our ego is just a story?
Kind of. A limited construct, maybe. And then there's the related idea that the world you see is basically a reflection of your unquestioned beliefs.
Like wearing colored glasses, that analogy you used earlier.
Exactly. The world is, but how you see it depends on the filters you haven't questioned.
Okay.
And the commentary suggests that real sovereignty, real freedom comes from realizing this, from choosing your meaning intentionally, instead of just reacting to what the Leviathan, whatever form it takes, throws at you.
Choosing meaning.
Yeah. And it positions Hagbard Celine as this sort of guide, a Gnostic messenger, it calls him, leading us towards metacognition.
Metacognition.
Thinking about your thinking, stepping back, observing the software of your own mind, how it runs beliefs.
Right. Which loops us back perfectly to the main thread we've followed through this whole commentary series on Illuminatus, which is pattern recognition. The commentary really hammers this home. The whole point of wading through these weird books, all the conspiracies and oddities, is to get better at seeing the patterns. Patterns of belief, patterns of control, especially in modern society.
Yeah.
And that's what connects directly to you listening. That desire to see the hidden stuff, understand how ideas and beliefs and these patterns literally shape reality, how they control, in a way, our basic existence.
And it leaves us with that quote, which is just, wow, really sums it up. You are of a larger consciousness, dreaming you're a citizen in a story written by invisible forces you've never questioned.
Wow. Okay. So practically speaking, the commentary is pushing us to actually question those invisible forces.
Seems like it.
To see that the Leviathan, maybe the most powerful version, isn't out there. But it's the limits we put on ourselves.
Yeah.
Through beliefs we just accept.
That's a strong reading of it, yeah. The unexamined belief as the ultimate cage.
And the way out, or at least towards understanding, is just asking the questions. We're starting to pull at those threads.
Exactly. So wrapping up this deep dive on the Leviathan commentary, it's clear it doesn't see Leviathan as just one thing. It's multifaceted.
Right. It's the chaos we fear. It's the state control we might resist.
And it's those internal beliefs that frame everything without us even noticing.
And the commentary really stresses how vital it is to get a handle on these structures, these beliefs, both the big societal ones and the personal ones. Learning to spot these controlling patterns. It says that's a crucial step, an ongoing one.
Towards really understanding ourselves in this incredibly complex world.
So maybe the final thought to leave you with is this. What might some of those invisible forces be in your life right now? The assumptions shaping your perceptions, your beliefs.
Yeah, what could happen? What might you start to see differently if you really began to question them? Not just glance at them, but genuinely question them. What new possibilities might open up?